Psychedelics, the last class of drugs we'll talk about in this class. A very unusual and powerful, sort of mind-altering set of drugs, that produce unusual sensory, perceptual, and also cognitive distortions. Though some would describe them as, remarkable insights. Sort of transition to a more spiritual plane. They are called sometimes hallucinogens because they are associated with the generation of many hallucinogenic experiences, and theogens because they provide some for some like a strong sense of the sacred or spiritual. They're derived from plants, these chemicals largely, although there are some very notable chemicals like LSD that is synthetic, and these include mescaline, which is a chemical that is found in the peyote cactus. Psilocin, actually psilocybin, is the sort of precursor, the phosphorylated chemical that is found in mushrooms. Many of them actually grow, not too far, on the northern Oregon coast. It's converted in vivo, in the body, into a chemical called psilocin, which is what has, the actual drug action that generates, many of these effects. DMT, which is another plant-derived chemical, but it's also interestingly, related to tryptophan, which is an essential amino acid and the precursor, of course, to the monoamine serotonin as a neurotransmitter. And there's some evidence that it's synthesized to some degree in the brain. There could be variations in terms of how much of it is synthesized. Interestingly, the pineal gland, which Descartes was sort of forced to identify as the seat of the soul, seems to be one such site for DMT synthesis. And then, of course, there's Albert Hoffman's famous LSD, which is a chemical that has had a big impact on culture, and now many of these psychedelics, including LSD, are being examined for potential therapeutic effects, and there are some actually really interesting studies that suggest that these should not be, as they are, Schedule 1 substances. But again, as we've been discussing, evidence-based research, scientific research is not, the sole determinant, of what gets placed in Schedule 1. And this is certainly true, we'll see, of the psychedelics